Welcome to the Mìhkel podcast. I'm Mìhkel. How's your day going? We're here. Welcome to the second episode of the podcast. Another episode filled with wonders and joy. I've had a lot of fun making the last two, and all out it's been a really good time. So I'm glad to be back here again, and I'm ready to talk. So the subject for today's episode is going to be relationships. Now, not in the typical sense that you would assume, like dating. I mean relationships and like how we correlate to other humans and what is our connection with them. So yeah, it's gonna be real fun. And I thought, what better episode to have my first guest on than the episode on relationships? And not even just that, I would like to welcome my one of my best friends and former lover, Cameron. Introduce yourself, please.
Great way to introduce me to the podcast. Hello, everybody. My name is Cameron. I'm a friend of the podcast, Mìhkel. I was his partner for
2.5 years.
For a pretty long time, a few years back, and then we're still friends. We're still good, and yeah, it's gonna be a fun episode.
Yeah, so I thought he'd be a perfect fit for the episode. And if you're wondering why my mic sounds a lot shiter than usual, that is because I am not on my phone. Yeah, it's an experience. Yeah. It definitely is. But you know what? We perceive and we make it. We persist, and we make it through this. Yeah. Yes, we persist. We persist. So I'm really excited for today.
Yeah, same. I'm ready.
So I've given my opening remarks. So I want to speak about why we're talking about this, because I feel like I don't give much explanation into why I talk about the specific topics that I do, and I feel it's fun to delve into that. As well, I would like to state beforehand, before anything else happens, neither me or Cameron are professionals in this subject matter. Okay?
No, we are not relationship guidance counselors. We're not going to give you we're just giving you our personal opinions, you know?
We are giving our thoughts and theories based on experiences and just through our own thoughts. We have not gone through schoolings or different forms of higher education to get knowledge. That being said, welcome to the podcast.
Yep.
So now I'd like to talk about exactly what this has to do here. So obviously the podcast is talking about humans and their relations with one another. And so I've said previously in former podcasts that humans are a sort of social creature. We long to have connections with one another and constantly either seek that by talking to someone or just being close with them. So I thought, what better thing to talk about than relationships with human beings? So yeah, that's what we're here to do for today.
Yep. Yeah, and relationships are a very important thing for humans, I'd say. I feel like that's one of the things that kind of like certain emotions we have when it comes to that stuff is not completely unique to humans, but it is something that we show, and that's like makes us kind of unique. And I think
And
how we treat others.
as well, I think it's interesting that humans essentially need relationships in order to stay alive, really. Because out of everyone, there is not a single person who doesn't interact with other humans in at least some sort of way. This can either be through a one-sided connection or a dual-sided connection, or just a more general connection. A general connection would be like a big friend group that you're a part of, you know? It's not really specified towards you and another person, it's everyone getting together. A dual connection being, I guess this, me and Cameron.
Yeah.
And a one-sided connection would be the sort of relation that one has towards a speaker, say like a religion, or, well, I guess I should say that, or like
I think it's fine.
or connections with celebrities, because that person may not specifically know you, but you feel like you have a relationship towards that person, creating the one-sided relation. I'm trying to think of the specific word for it, and I cannot find it at the moment, but I believe, do you have it, Cameron?
The specific word for what exactly?
A one-sided relationship?
I mean, okay. Like, I don't think specific word for it. I mean, one-sided, like, I mean, like, when it, cause there's like one multiple, like there's the one you said, like religious or whatever, or
Parasocial.
Yep, there we go.
That was the word.
Yeah, like certain
the show.
fans of the
Not
creators, you
professional.
know. Yeah, certain fans of certain things, you know, people, creators.
And sorry, I'm reading off notes here. I've finally done it,
okay.
guys. I finally have created notes for the podcast.
I didn't get these notes, bro. I'm just here listening and responding. Like I'm not.
Yeah,
I don't even know. I barely know what's gonna happen in this podcast.
I think I kind of expect you to come on here and be able to give your own thoughts and chime in on the subject. It's not really coming in with a full-on script. It's more giving your own thoughts and adding towards the overall flow of the podcast. Oh man. What I did not expect, though, was for my computer to crash mid-recording and us have to resettle in. So
I got to eat dinner though, so you know.
Yeah.
That was good.
So we're rejuvenated now, chat, and we're ready to talk about relationships.
Yay! I love those.
Yeah, me too, man. Kind of. Well, relationships are very interesting. They exist, but more as a concept than as an actual thing. There is nothing directly describing a relationship, more there is a concept of what is a relationship. There's no written sort of forum, forum. There's no forum as to what classifies relationships. It's more just whatever you believe is a relationship. Like, nothing directly says, oh, I'm friends with this person. It's more you think in your head, yeah, I would classify this person as a friend. And that's what's very interesting about relationships, is it's not really what it is, more what you think it is. It's not a relationship unless you think it's a relationship. If you don't think it's a relationship, then it's not a relationship. If both people believe that it is, then it is. And that's what's interesting.
Yeah.
Man.
I mean, like, everyone kind of, yeah, as you said, like, everyone kind of has their own definition of, like, what a friend is. Like, so you could do, like, some things with people, and one of them would be like, oh, that's a mutual, and the other would be like, oh, that's a friend. Like, it's kind of just depends on the person. Like, I know a person who's, like, classified me as a friend, and I was like, oh, they're kind of just, like, more of a mutual, because it was, like, my friend's ex-girlfriend or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. There's some stuff where I view them as a quote cohort. They view me as a friend. And it's very interesting because most people describe relationships ending when both people in the relationship feel that they are no longer dating. That is
Yep, sounds familiar.
Anyways, where were we? And it's interesting because these relationships are very important to us as humans. Yet, it's up to us to create them.
Yeah.
Humans don't exist without some sort of relationship. That's impossible. In order to exist without relationship, you would need to be locked in a room with no thoughts, no entertainment, and pure nothingness. Because even an imaginary friend would be classified as a friend. That is humans going so crazy that they create a relationship. And that's what hallucinations are. Is that your body physically cannot exist without relationships, because after a certain point, people create their own form of relationship. And the more they go without that form of relationship, the more that it spirals into weird levels of relationships, you know? First it stops.
Like,
oh, yes, please continue.
No, I wasn't gonna say anything. It was just like, imaginary friends, they are pretty important because that's kind of like your establisher. Like, I know when I was little, I had imaginary friends, and not because I was lonely. I had many friends, and I still have many friends. But like, it's kind of just like your establishing relationship. Like, you might have a few friends, but like that's really where you can get a lot from, at least from my experiences and what I've heard from people.
Actually, yeah, no, yeah, absolutely. So yeah, now that we've classified that Cameron is lonely, we can tell that he was so lonely that he created his own friend.
Yep, that's what we get from that.
That's what we get. No, okay, that's actually taking away from it, because that actually is really important here. It's a sort of basis towards it. The human brain creates a form of developing relationships towards people. Sorry, I had a theory in mid-sentence. But what's interesting is we have imaginary friendships, but I've never heard of an imaginary relationship.
No,
I mean,
okay.
I guess
I feel like that's, by the time you think about relationships, you're kind of out of that imaginary friend stage for the most part. I'd say, at least. Or like an imaginary, like when you're talking about like dating relationship, or like just like a relationship.
dating.
Like,
I mean, like,
yeah, no. By the time I feel like you're thinking about dating, you're out of the imaginary friend thing.
Yeah, you're out of the imaginary friend thing, but you're not out of the whole idea of relationships, and that's where what we were speaking of earlier, one-sided relationships come from. It's people who have disillusioned themselves so much that they genuinely believe that they are in a relationship with another person. If they mentally, they convince themselves of that being the case, despite it, not being the case.
That goes into kind of like the obsession territory, I'd say, where you're kind of in an unhealthy like obsession or liking to this person. You're like you kind of delusion yourself into thinking you're in a relationship with that person, and you're like they might not even like you, and it's like that gets into, again, parasocial relationships with again, certain fans of certain creators. I'm not going to say any names because I don't know if we can get in trouble for that or not, but you know.
Yeah, and I think that's really interesting because it goes to show the importance of relationships, that people stoop to such levels that even other humans can't begin to comprehend out of the pure necessity for it. And it really exacerbates how important relationships are to the human species as a whole, because without it, we kind of fail to even function. I think
Yeah.
that's actually very oh my god. Sorry, chat. I'm actually doing a live recording now, so I can't pause the recording every time I have to cough. So this is just because this is really bad. Sorry. Holy shit. No, it this is shown mostly with the college experience. Once people go off to college and they lose the previous connections they've had in school, they start to feel sort of lonely. And that creates what's called college depression, where you're so far away from everything that you once had that you become sad. And it's
Terrifying as well.
it's terrifying. It's extremely hard to function simply because you're out of the ordinary with it. And it completely changes your way of life just because of a casual talk with someone, you know? Something that seems so something this is terrible. Something that seems so insignificant. Insignificant. Something that seems so insignificant is overall actually extremely important in the long run. And I think that's I think with all that, we've really emphasized the point that relationships are very important to humans as a whole.
Yeah.
And
you need to have some type of relationship, whether it be your mom, your dad would know about that. Anyways, your sisters, your brothers, your grandparents, your partners, if you have one, anyone, just your friends, which is the most important.
They affect our lives in so many different ways. And with that, I kind of want to go into the more personal effects that relationships have on us. And this is the real meat and potatoes of the podcast. This is everything else was kind of leading up to this segment where we're going to be really talking about how relationships have affected us. Me personally, I'm a very needy person. I've always had a lot of friends because I feel like I need to have them. I need to have someone who I can talk to and tell about my life. And whenever I make friends with someone, I tell them a lot of things. I'm a very open person, and that's just because I have so much that I want to share. And I always am looking for that sort of conversation with another person. And when I'm not provided it, then I spiral into a sort of manic state. When I become lonely, I also become sad. I think the longer I go without interacting with people and having like genuine interactions with people, the more I experience my forms of anxiety and depression. I remember specifically when I was, I believe, 11 years old in 5th grade. I had a lot of friends, but they were very, what's the word? They were not real friends. They were just people I had around just so I could experience talking to people, and I think that moment in my life really caught up to me, and that's when I went through a lot mentally,
Yeah.
and I like to think that's kind of where my life shifted, because before that I was a stupid kid. I did a lot of stupid shit, and I was basically living the life of a middle-aged man going through a crisis all the way from kindergarten to 5th grade. Um and then after that, COVID hit, which
Yep.
had a huge um impact on, well, relationships.
Yeah.
Connections shifted. It was a lot harder to connect with people personally, but also a lot easier, because
Yeah.
everything being online, you're farther away from people, but ironically, you're also a lot closer to people, because now you don't have to actually walk up to them to talk to them. You can just email them or message them directly.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
that's kind of when I guess I started to come to a realization in life, and life smacked me in the face, essentially, and all because I went from having these fake relationships to only talking to a couple of people who were genuine friends to me. And during that time period, that's when that's when I met Cameron.
Yep. I was
Hmm.
gonna say, Fortnite Chapter 2 Season 4 carried so much. Um,
Fire season.
yeah, I love that. I need it back. Yeah, but I think that is like quite relatable with like having a lot of friends. I know we dogged on it a little bit, but I had a lot of friends throughout my life. Um, so,
Hmm.
don't even.
No, I'm not.
In Okay, in like what, like fourth grade, I want to say as well, or fourth or third. I had so many friends, and I was like super hyper and talking to everybody and just being like good, like trying to like be friends with everybody. My teacher had a parent-teacher conference with my mom, and was like, he's being very disruptive and he's like talking to everybody and he's doing all this. You should get him checked out for ADHD, which that's a whole other conversation. But anyways, I actually got moved out of that class into a different one because there was like a new teacher that entered the school and I got moved. But jokes on them, my best friend also got moved into that class, so that worked out. But yeah, throughout my life, I had a lot of friends, so much, and I wanted to be friends with everyone. Like I would tell one of my best friends as an excuse or just genuinely, I'd be like, yeah, I want to be friends with everybody. But looking back on it, that wasn't entirely true. Um, I use that as an excuse to be friends with some not good people who really hurt me, and I that's like did a lot. But that also helped me grow. And I think there's a lot of reasons I tried to do that, like be friends with a lot of people that I shouldn't have, and be friends with some like bad people. But I don't know. I think I was trying to prove something or like fill something that was missing. But then, as you said, COVID hit, and I was like, wow. And I just kept in contact with very little people, most of which people you know, and then that's where you come in, where I met a mutual friend of ours and we became friends. I don't know if the stream, I think the where we originally met, there's a video not on the internet anymore, but that was the first time me and Mìhkel ever met, was a stream on YouTube that is not up anymore, I don't think. I'd have to check. I think that whole YouTube channel's deleted. But
Really?
if it's there, it was there. And I used to rewatch that video all the time because I would like to look back on how much we changed, like our voices and everything else. So,
And now that brings us to the COVID era of relationships, because one thing that I mean, a lot of people have realized, but I'd like to talk on, is really the impact COVID has had on people as a whole. You know, reality hit us, and we started to experience reality. And I think that had both negative and positive effects on us. I
I
think
mean,
we became a lot
yeah,
more serious and involved with the
yeah,
world, and that's always a good thing. Maturing is good, but sometimes maturing isn't necessary. You know, sometimes
yeah.
it's. I think the statement
I
that
mean, we're
comes up
kids.
most is really ignorance is bliss. It's nice to live life being stupid and not having to worry much. And
Yeah,
that
like
really
we were
was
kids.
life
We
for a
were.
bit.
Oh, okay.
Then,
Yeah,
COVID
we were.
hit,
Yeah, COVID's.
and the world became a lot more serious, and we were exposed to that. So, in theory, or sorry, not in theory, in fuck. As a result of that, people started to think really about life and mature more. Because, I mean, when you're given all that time to yourself, what else do you do?
Yeah.
And that created what we are now.
I mean, I remember I like right after COVID when we got out of school, I remember I was like exposed to like George Floyd and a lot, and as like a black male, I don't know if y'all, as like a black male, I remember I got exposed to that and like right after COVID, and I feel like that hit, and a lot of like the Black Lives Matter stuff like came and that hit, and I saw that, and then with COVID, so it just made me think. But I do, yeah, with COVID, the two things that gave me the most character development, I'd say, character development, is like COVID and then a recent event that I don't know if we will or won't cover it, but if we do, I'll get to that later.
That is up to
But
you entirely.
I mean, yeah, it's like I don't know. It's something that involves relationships and stuff recent. So if we're going through like eras of our lives, if we get to like the now,
I
then
think
I
we probably
definitely
will
will
later.
talk about it. Yeah, okay, then I'll definitely talk about that because I think that's important. But yeah, COVID really did mature us, and it exposed me to a lot of things that, like, I don't really know if I should have learned about it that soon, but I think it was important, and it did make me who I am today, as a little kid to now. So, yeah.
And I think a part of that process is, since our brains were maturing, our relationships were also maturing.
Yeah.
It went from just casually having friends to creating a more thought on who really matters in life. During your during serious moments, you start to really think about your life and the relationships you have with other people, and you really give it a critical thought, you know? And during that era, that's when I started to really look at my relationships with other people and realizing maybe to me this person is more than just a friend.
Yeah. I
And
mean, yeah.
that's when the need for a romantic relationship really struck hard.
Yeah.
And we're constantly putting ourselves into new relationships so that we can feel that connection with another person.
Yeah.
Me personally, I haven't been I haven't not been in a relationship since the beginning of COVID. Wow, that is wild to
Oh,
think about.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, like with relationships like that for me, I was thinking about that actually a bit earlier. Or not, well, like in my life, yeah, in my life. Because for years before COVID, there was this one uh, girl who
Mm.
I think you know who this is. I think you know who this is.
No,
I'm assuming you do.
no,
Yeah,
no,
you definitely know. But this person for years I had liked her a lot. I did a lot. I watched all the Twilight movies as a little kid to get stuff to talk to her about. And I became her friend. I'm still one of her close friends. We're not as close as we used to be, but I'd still say we're pretty close.
well, I mean, you tried, man. You tried.
Yeah.
But
And
realistically, it wasn't it.
No. But I liked her for a long time, and I wanted to do that. And there was a lot of things. Obviously, we were littler, so it wouldn't really work out, obviously. And then COVID happened. I kind of got out of that for a bit, and that's when that just happened. The Mìhkel thing happened. Met Mìhkel, had that for quite a long time. And then after that, we were still close friends. But that's kind of after COVID. So that's that whole thing is after COVID. Because Mìhkel was kind of like my COVID experience stuff. And then post-COVID, and now modern day. There's like the three modern eras we have right now.
Yeah, I haven't been out of a relationship for a single moment ever since I first
depending on how you
started.
look at it, from the outside looking in, that sounds really bad, but I will. It sounds really bad. And to some people, it sounds bad, but I
didn't do anything bad. I'm always in the
No.
right. I am the hero of this story. You are listening to this podcast because you are the hero. I am the hero of this story. I could never do anything so dishonorable, so treacherous.
I mean, it's funny because it's like that happened, and then I was like okay with it because it didn't matter, and that happened again recently, and that was not good. But again, later. That's modern era, Cameron.
Yeah, and so the interesting thing is, ever since that, we're constantly just going into new relationships because we don't really know how to live.
It's been both of us.
We don't know how to live life without it. I mean,
because our most maturing days were like in a relationship, so I feel like we're trying to seek that because that was like what we knew when we were like maturing the most, because those were like the days.
I think about this every single time, but you are always looking for the next thing whenever you end a relationship.
No, that's not true, bro.
Yes, yes, it is.
I swear.
It's almost immediately after a relationship ends.
No, it's once I get over them. It's once I get over them.
Which happens like in a week or two. Come on.
Okay,
after like a week or
with
two,
this one, I'm still not completely like done. Like the reason I'm not in a new relationship currently right now is because I'm still like healing. I'm taking time to myself, and
but you're thinking about it.
Once I'm thinking about it, and I'm like,
exactly.
I'm almost there. Like I was talking to her at this girl at the bus stop. We were at the bus stop, and one of my mutuals, this mutual I was talking about earlier, was like, "Are y'all together?" And she was like, "Almost." And I was like, "Yeah, that's basically how I described it." Because I told her like I still need a little bit of time to myself to like, I don't know, heal.
Boom.
If that's the right word.
He sent you, which
because I don't want to give her like zero. I don't want to give her when I'm not at my best, you know.
But you're essentially already in. Let's be honest.
Yes, I mean
you're in the queue.
I may or may not be FaceTiming her after this podcast, but that's irrelevant, you know?
Exactly. See, you're always looking for something new. You're never giving a second to get away from it. And, I mean, I really mean, like, at least a month without even thinking.
That's what I'm doing. My friends are telling me, like, wait a month, please, wait a month. And that's what I'm doing. Like, my last relationship ended March 8th. I broke up with her on March 8th, and it hasn't been a month, and I'm not in a new relationship, and I don't even know. I might take longer than that. It's still like a thing. I might take longer than that. I've told her like I'm sorry. I'm keeping you. She's understanding. She's great. She's really understanding. She's really patient, and yeah.
But I think an aspect of that really is I'd like to think how much of that is you saying I just need time to get over it, and how much of that is you saying, maybe I don't want to do
See, I do. I'm pretty. I do.
Then how
I
come you aren't
just
getting into it immediately? You know,
because
no,
I
because here's the thing: your friends are saying, wait a month, but you don't really need to wait a month. You
okay.
can
Well,
always get into it whenever you want to. Hell, I mean, if you
there's.
really wanted to,
I mean, we.
you could have done it immediately after that relationship ended. So why didn't you?
Yeah. Well, okay. There's a few reasons. Well, one, there's like, I'm not a man whore, obviously.
Yes, you
I
are.
don't think so. Okay, thanks, bud. Two, like, I do think that there is some like reflection needed, and I did have reflection on myself. Like, there was some there was time that was like when I was just like by myself or like thinking to myself like just like what I can do to just be better because or do whatever because like that what happened to me it just sucks. But you know, I just thought to myself, and then also we were going through like I had texted her something about it the other day, and I was like, oh, I think I might be ready. And she's like, are you sure? And I was going to text her yes, and I could not press the send button for the life of me. Like I just stood there and my heart was just sinking. And I just could not send yes for the life of me. For
I
whatever I
think
could not.
that's.
I told her like I no. Because like I don't know. There's something.
I think subliminally that's you saying that you're not really in for it. You,
I
I think that's what we were talking about earlier. You want the experience of being in a relationship, but you don't really want to be in a relationship. You want to feel cared for and have someone close to you, but you don't want to like be in a relationship. You know,
I mean
I think really what you're looking for is just a friend.
I have those though.
Yes, you have those, but I'm not talking about artificial friends. I'm not talking about like we were talking about earlier, friends that are not really close to you. There's friends, but I think what you need is a best friend type deal.
I have multiple I have a few of those.
But I mean like really close. Like do you tell them everything?
Yeah, I have I have
You tell them
I have
everything.
yes. Well,
You need to treat those friends like they are your romantic partners, you know? Cuz there's
mhm.
people in life who are still friends, but you have a closer relationship to them than most people who are in a romantic relationship are with that person.
Mhm.
And that's because people just they want to be close to another person. It's not really you have to be in a relationship. It's just wanting to feel close to another human being. You know?
Mhm.
Now, of course, I'm
I
not
mean,
directly completely saying that you shouldn't go for it. I think if it really you want to get into this relationship, you should. And honestly, I don't I actually fully don't understand why you haven't already.
I yeah, I think what my last partner did, I think I might be scared is part of it. And since we're already talking about this, let me just put it out there. We kind of skipped the post-COVID healing, post-COVID era, but we might go back to that because I also do want to talk about that era as well.
Yeah.
Um, but my last relationship, I was cheated on by my partner with a well, okay, it's kind of complicated because they were a friend, but it wasn't. It's a lot. It's weird, and I don't entirely get it because
I
it's
don't
like
get
it
it
was my
either.
partner, and then they had it's a lot
He
because it
didn't
was with
he didn't do anything bad though, you know.
he didn't do anything bad, and that's why I'm still like I still talk to him is because he told me he's the one who told me he's the one who he felt bad and he wanted to tell me, but she like would not let him talk to me, and then after he rejected her and stopped talking to her and was gonna tell me, she manipulated me and lied to me, told me and all my friends that he did some really fuck shit to her, or to yeah to her, and made me and everyone stop talking to him. So, and went so far, I DM'd Mìhkel for advice about it because I felt really betrayed by that person who didn't even do anything wrong. And I didn't know what to do. But eventually, after soccer practice, or at school, he told my friend Milo I don't know if it's fine. He told my best friend, what happened, and he gave him screenshots and stuff. So, and I still didn't believe him. And then after practice, Milo pulled me aside and he was like, "Hey, dude, there's some stuff I got to tell you. Like, there's stuff, there's screenshots, there's everything."
Oh,
So
I don't know if I've told you, but I was the one who convinced Milo to tell you about that.
no, I assumed because he'd been implying that he talked to Mìhkel, he talked to you about something.
Mm-hmm.
He talked, so I
He
assumed.
talked to me entirely, and he even texted me. I texted him later on and was like, "Have they broken up yet?" And he was like, "No, they haven't." And I was like, "You need to convince
What day?
him." I don't know, man.
Because, okay, whatever. But yeah, after practice,
I told him you need to convince him to get out of the relationship. Staying in that relationship is not healthy. And he was like, "No, he doesn't deserve that. He should spend his own time getting ready for that." And I told him, "No, that's not how you do it. You don't see, sometimes it's good for people to have independence, but sometimes you need to tell people what to do or else they won't do it." You know? So
Yeah.
despite what Milo said to me, I was like, "You can't do that, man. That's fucked up. Give him time to get ready for it." I was like, "No, he doesn't need that time. He needs to get out of that relationship immediately."
yeah,
By the way, I'm the person people go to talk to for advice and stuff.
yeah, you are. But yeah, so I find out on March 5th, 20 this year, and I'm like, dang, and I see all the screen. I text the guy and I'm my friend, and I'm like, "Hey, give me everything you have, please." And so he sends me everything. I see it, and I'm very, very not okay. Like, I was gonna say you can ask Milo, but you can't really as an audience member. But he saw me at my lowest of in quite a while, if I'm being completely honest. So, yeah, I go home. I call FaceTime or call
NBA young boy.
blur that out or something. I don't know. It doesn't matter. And I'm like, "Hey, dude, give me."
In recording, I'll just scream over his name. I'll just go, "Ah!"
Yeah, no, but I'd call him. I'm like, "Hey, tell me everything. Like, give me everything, like, again." And so he tells me everything, and I'm just like on the call, like kind of crying. I'm just like, "Oh, I don't know what to do." And I didn't want to go to school the next day. What was this, March 5th? Yeah. And I'm like, I didn't know what to do. March 5th, I go to school.
Like the Honkai Impact character?
I don't know what I did on March 5th. I was just really distraught. Or March 5th was the day I found out. March 6th, I don't know what I did. I don't remember that day at all. March 7th, I went out with her. And it was every time I saw her, I actually felt physically ill. And it took me days of convincing to break up with her because I knew everything, but I couldn't because I'm scared of her. I'm still kind of scared of her because she is a manipulative person, and she is kind of scary.
That's crazy.
So,
relationships have such a positive impact, and we need them so bad. But it's really dependent on who the relationship is with, because it can also have negative impacts on.
Yep, unhealthy relationships, not healthy relationships.
And it's really interesting because as humans, we kind of betray ourselves in a sort of way because we want relationships so bad that we get to the point where we put ourselves in bad situations because of our disparity. You know, we're desperate for it. I believe.
Yeah, but like the next 2 days, I feel physically ill every time I see her. We go out on like a date, and it was not good. I was not in a good state while we were there, and she took advantage of me a little bit, but Yeah. And then I went home. I left an earbud at our place and it rained and it was outside, so I'm never getting that earbud back. And then the next day on March 8th, she's out of town and I wouldn't have any opportunity to do it until after spring break. So I send her a text and I go, I know everything. Please don't talk to me. We're done. Like, don't talk to me. Don't talk about me. Don't talk about my friends. Don't talk to my friends. We're done.
I'm interested.
Please get out of my life.
Do you ever just see her in passing?
Yes, she's everywhere. She continues to like be the.
Do you share classes with her?
Yes, I share 3 out of my. I have 4 classes a day, and I have 3 out of my 4. Oh, three classes. Like 2 different types, like A and B. I have 3 classes with her on B days, so that's fun.
No way. That's crazy.
Yeah,
Holy
and
shit.
guess what? Then after spring break, I come back from spring break, and guess what the seating chart looks like? In one of the classes I have with her, I'm sat right next to her.
Ooh, not.
That's fun. She doesn't show up to that class though. She skips. She
What a
skips that
bitch.
class, so that's fun.
Oh, I hate people
Yeah,
who
she's
skip classes. I hate. Oh my god. Oh wait. Okay, I need to go on a side tangent here because
no go on a side
I
tangent.
hate people who skip classes so much. I am a major fucking nerd, and I love school and learning. And when people decide to go to school but just skip classes instead, that pisses me off so much because it's like, why the fuck are you here? Why are you here if you're just gonna
She's
not
like gonna
be in the
fail all her
class?
class and go to summer school.
Exactly.
I'm
It
100%
pisses
sure of that.
it pisses me off so much. I'm such a fucking loser, but I mean, it really pisses me off. But yeah, please continue.
Yeah. But she's just there and she's continuing. Guess the one thing I don't care anymore. I have no feelings towards her whatsoever, negative, positive. I don't care about her. She can live her life. I hope she gets therapy and gets the help she deserves or help she needs because she is not a mentally okay person. But I've told my friends, like, I don't care who you're friends with. You can be friends with her. None of them are, except my best friend, which hurts a little bit, but I'm not gonna go into that because I don't care enough. Because it's like, it's what I told him, I don't care who you're friends with, and he's just listening to that. And also, I know he's not good at stopping being friends with people. So there's that. But
I mean, let me be for real with you. That's what you get for fucking with white chicks, you know.
yeah, no, but it's a thing that happened, and it really did fucking suck, and it did hurt me a lot, cause she manipulated the fuck out of me and like made me just do a lot and think a lot, and it just really sucked to have that happen. Especially when her whole motto with relationships is like, I don't know, she's a manipulator, but she's out of my life now, and I'm glad about that. So, and now I'm here, where after a few weeks of just like spending time on my own, I after a bit I was like talking to my friends, and my friend was like, "Oh, this girl you're friends with, she likes you," and I'm like, "Oh, okay, cool," and. Or no. We were talking on or I was talking to my friend, and we were just talking, and he was like hardcore shivving me with one of my friends, and then later, me and her were on FaceTime, and we were talking, and I just texted him like, "Shit, I think I like her, but I cannot date her right now." And I've been aware of this since the beginning that I don't want to date right now. But I don't know, and now that's kind of where we're at. Like,
All right, now that you've talked about your relationship, I'd like to talk about my relationship because
great, you're way healthier and better one.
yeah,
I love y'all. I love y'all.
I'm in a weird spot right now with it because
Oh,
of
okay.
his personal issues, um, which affects me, but it's whatever. Um,
Mm,
I see. I'm always the person someone goes to for advice, which means I'm a lot better with this stuff. Just I don't know how to say this in a non narcissistic way, but it just genuinely I'm better at doing relationships, so you know,
Okay.
I keep the relationships healthy. Um,
Okay. Okay. It's not my fault that the one person I dated was crazy. Okay.
the
Everyone else has
one
been fine.
person,
Okay.
oh, the one out of many.
I've only okay. That's like my third partner. Okay. You can.
Or
Well, the person I'm like talking to now, that's my fourth. But everything before that's three, I think. But do you know more? Do you know more than I do? Hello?
actually, yeah, I do. I live inside your brain. I'm a little worm that crawls in
Ah,
there.
okay,
You
okay,
know.
okay.
Anyways,
I see.
yeah, I our relationship has existed for a long time. I think like 2 years now. We've been
Mhm.
dating, so it's been a while. Maybe 2.5. I actually am unaware, but we're happy together, and I mean, his relationship only lasted like how long? A month? How long did
Who's your partner right now?
the one you're talking? No, the one you're talking about. You were just talking
Oh,
about. How long did
it
that last?
was from December 8th. I think it was exactly like a certain amount. December 8th. That's one, two,
So
three. Yeah, it
for
lasted like
like
3 months.
3 months. 3 months. Okay.
3 months. 3 months exactly.
Yeah, 3 months, and he spent that long talking about it. So if I were to talk
He's
about my
oh my.
entire
There's a
two
lot
and a
to
half,
talk about, and it wasn't. It
yeah,
was
if I
just like the
talked about
last
my
few
entire
days.
2.5 years, then I would go crazy long. So
Yeah.
I like to I just like to sum it all up in, you know, I talk to him about really everything. Whenever I'm having troubles, I go to him. Whenever I'm happy, I go to him. Whenever anything really happens, I go to him to talk to him because well, he's just important to me. Um,
Yeah.
I would genuinely say I love him. He's
Nice.
really important to my life, and so recently his parents have had him grounded in a way.
Oh.
It sucks.
Ew.
Um, so I haven't really been able to talk to him, and it's had its effect on me. Um,
Do you have not see her at like school?
no, he had he got switched schools so that his parents had
Oh,
an easier commute.
what? That sucks.
Yeah, so that
That
his parents
sucks.
had an easier commute, which okay.
That fucking sucks.
hmm So ever since that happened, I've kind of I fell into a really bad depression for a good while.
Yeah.
Um, the good thing is I'm smart, and I'm able to work it alone on my depression, and so I got out of it. Um, I I talked 9 friends about or out of suicide, so I have practice on the subject, and I
Yeah.
knew how to really tell myself what was worth living for, what I really wanted in life. So, despite everything, I know that when he gets out of it, the fact that I love him will not change.
Yeah. And
So,
yeah, that actually reminds me of something that I want to talk about when it comes to relationships. And it goes back to like the one-sided, but it's really interesting. My friend,
oh wait,
um,
I wasn't done. I wasn't done.
okay, we got to talk about this. We got to go all the way back to one-sided relationships later because
Sorry,
I'm gonna write this down in my notes actually because I have like two things I need to talk about right now.
I have notes open too. Actually, yes. um,
Okay, I'm writing down two things.
so he's really important to me, and I think his existence is kind of what got me out of that depression because it was something that life was worth living for, and that also adds to the main theme that he was so important to me. He is
Yeah.
so important to me that I basically am still living life right now because of him. And I think that really goes to show two sides here because with Cameron's story, he mentally fell down because of his where whereas even though I fell down, in the end, really it was because of him that I'm happy right now and that I'm
Yeah, I mean,
still here.
I'd say I'm happy now. I'm fine now.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I was sad for like like a week too, which I thought I was gonna be sad for way longer because I told her. Here's another thing. I told her cheating was my like biggest fear in a relationship, and she still did it, which is another thing that really sucks.
Oh dear God,
Um,
it is one of my biggest fears. Trust me,
yeah, no,
I
but
know
like
about that
I
shit.
thought I was gonna be sad for way longer, and I mean, it's still having effects on me. Like the most emotions I feel towards her now is I hate what she did to me and like how it's affecting my life now. But beside out of that, I just have nothing towards her.
Well, I mean, yeah, there's no really reason to dwell on it. Everything
Yeah,
is
no,
done and in the
I'm done with
past
it
now.
now. I'm done with it now. It's just everything that happened before really is affecting me now, which sucks. But you know,
Everything's in the past now. She's no longer important to your life, and
hmm
despite everything she did, you can get past it because that's how we are as humans. We're able to just
yeah, it just
take it.
sucks because like I wanted to have a streak where I was like still friends with all my exes, but you know that's not gonna happen.
That did not happen. No, it did
That did not happen at all.
not. Hmm.
Yeah, no.
I'm friends with all my exes. My one, my one
Yeah.
ex.
Two out of the two for me two out of three is not bad, and for you like half is also pretty good.
Half. What do you mean?
For you, well, okay, well
Huh?
half what? Well, it's just a hundred
I
percent. Never
only
mind.
have one. Yeah.
Never mind. Yeah.
Cameron's a
I did my
fucking.
math wrong.
Yeah, he sucks dick at math. Fun fact. I'm
I
above
have
the
to do my math
national.
homework
I'm
after this pod
above
as
the
well.
national average for math. I want you to know. Let me guess. You're like
Okay.
below or on
I don't know.
level.
I'm average. I'm on level,
Yeah.
so
What math do you take?
I see. Our courses like are in different like scales though. So like
Yeah.
for me, I'm taking algebra one in freshman is normal, but for
Ooh,
you it's not.
cringe. Yeah, no. Yeah, I don't take algebra one. I took that like a year ago, almost two now, dude. Come on, algebra's one, and it's easy. I'm taking algebra two right now,
Yeah, no,
and I'm
that's
about to
I don't
take
know. For me,
AP
algebra one
stats.
in freshman is normal. So
I'm
like or at
about to
least where
take
I go.
AP stats next year. So during my
Nice.
sophomore year of high school, I'm gonna be taking a math class with a bunch of senior kids.
Nice.
Um, so yeah,
Yeah.
they're gonna be my friends.
hmm
Weirdly, I actually get along pretty good with um, seniors. Um,
Yeah.
See, it's very interesting. I've been told I have a very old man type personality, which
I mean, yeah,
I don't know
you
how to
said earlier.
respond to that. I really don't know
You
how to
have
respond to
you
that.
just said earlier you have like the middle you were living a middle-aged man's life in like elementary or whatever. So
Yeah, which really says a lot about me now.
yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
don't know, man. I have an old man personality apparently, which
Damn.
when that was told to me, I didn't know how to respond. I was like,
I
"What
mean,
the
I don't
fuck
know if
did
I
this
don't
do?
think you
What did
can
this
respond.
junior just say to me? What did this junior just say to me?
Yeah.
Did bro call me a fucking old man? What?" And
No, I
to
don't
that
really
I
have any
said, "I
senior
don't know how to
friends.
respond to that."
Yeah, I don't have any senior friends, but I do have a lot of junior and sophomore friends. I just don't have a lot of senior friends.
I think a key to really being friends with them is not being intimidated by them at all. Because I think
I mean, I'm
a
not.
lot
I
of
just don't
yeah,
know
exactly. A
any.
lot of people aren't close to them because they're intimidated by them. And as long as you just aren't, then you're able to hold a conversation with them very well and become friends with them. Like
The only one I'm friends with is like this, like kind of friends with this girl like Avery. But it's that's because that's there's lore.
I don't I don't have any bias when I go into a relationship with someone, and by relationship I mean like connection, like friends or mutuals.
Yeah.
I don't have any bias. I just see them. I see them for who they are. I go in I have a personal respect meter. You know, the respect I have for everyone is set at a different level based on their ranking. You know, like if they're if they're like someone of power, like a boss, you know, or like a teacher, then their average, like their starting point for their respect on the scale for me is a lot higher than, say, another student, right? But that's really where the bias ends, you know? I don't view them in any higher or lower way. And my respect towards them changes when I actually get to know who they are, which results in me
Yeah.
respecting teachers less despite
Oh,
having their scale already be high. They just did so many bad things that they're now low, you know? It goes down based on how I think of them as a human. Their their rank in society or whatever has no effect on me. If they are rich, if they are powerful, good for them. But that's not how I like to view people. I like to view people for who they are as
mhm.
a person,
Yeah.
which
And
has resulted in people who typically are like, hey, you respect them because they're your senior. I don't respect them because even though they're my senior, they're they're a moron.
yeah.
And, you know, if anything, me holding them to higher standards makes them being lower standard even more detrimental to them, you know?
Yeah. And okay. So what do you have on your notes? Because I have two things I want to talk about. One is like about one-sided relationships, and the other is about like the one era of my life that we skipped when it comes to like major relationships.
Okay, well, I only have one thing noted down, so I think we can go to yours,
Oh,
go to mine, then go to your
okay.
second one, right?
Okay.
Um,
Well, I want to talk about one era of my life that we missed, which is the post Mìhkel Cameron relationship
I
into
understand
the
that. Yeah,
what? Yeah,
I
and
understand
that
that.
was that was like last year-ish after we broke up in December of 2022, I want to say, right?
I
Is
think
that right?
it was December. It was December 26th,
December 26th.
right
Okay,
after
thank you.
Christmas, man. Right after Christmas.
Right after Christmas. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah. And then I was kind of just like that, and then like quite a little bit, not too or late after, I had been like, I think I like the previous girl that I had liked in like before you. I've been like, damn, I think I like her again. Or I think I like her. Um, but I didn't really do anything about it because she had not really expressed too much interest in me like that. We had just been best friends, and I'd been focusing on being her friend over everything because I think that's more important. And then in February, out of like nowhere, stuff went down. I'm not gonna go into it because that's
Yeah.
not for the podcast. Not for the podcast.
Not for the
Um,
podcast.
but we were in a weird relationship type thing. Um, take a shot every time you say or hear the word relationship in this podcast.
Oh my
Rewatch it
god!
and then do
Literally!
that. But yeah, we were in a weird one of those, and we were like unofficially a couple because we didn't really tell anyone because again, personal stuff. But we had been like texting, we'd been saying like I love you and stuff, and a lot of other stuff, but we had never put an official label until July July. So we had been like doing stuff like basically a relationship in February all the way until July. And then, or not all the way until in July, we finally put like a label on it. We started telling people, um, and then, but like as soon as we officially put a label on it, that's when it went down. That's when it that's when it was not good. Because like right after, just stuff happened, It was definitely my fault for the most part. Not even for the most part, it was definitely my fault.
Yeah, damn you. Cameron.
What? Okay. It was definitely my fault. I blame Instagram Reels. That's all I'm gonna say. But we just started to not like each other, like even as like friends. Like I talked to her pretty recently and she said, "Oh yeah, in that era I was literally preying on your downfall." So you can tell.
Literally me.
And I was like, "Yeah, basically the same for me." So we were not friendly.
still
We were
preying on your
not
downfall.
we were in a relationship, but we did not like each other, and it was almost like kind of like not even like it was like kind of we were doing it for I don't even know. We just continued doing it. And we continued doing stuff for like not even like we didn't really like each other. It was just kind of like a thing. But
And it goes
and
back to
then
what I said. We are in relationships because we feel like we need them in our lives.
yeah, but I was like, yeah, and that just happened. We just didn't like each other. I just I tr- was I was trying to not hate her, I guess, and like trying to make it work, but it just never was. And then eventually in September, before her birthday, she was like, "Okay, we need to break up. We're like we hate each other, and that's not good." And I was like, "Yeah, I feel the same way. Great, thank you." And I posted like 4 Instagram stories about how happy I was, which to this day, I think there's some part of me where I was coping and I was like really sad, but
You were.
I don't know. I was totally coping. Um, and she never knew because I posted them on my close friends and I removed her from my close friends and posted them, but she recently found out and laughed about it. But after
I
that, we
remember
were in a
seeing them.
really,
And sorry. Wait, I want to personally talk about this because I remember seeing that
okay.
and thinking, this is the biggest fucking cope ever. This is the biggest cope ever.
You should have DM'd me. You should have DM'd me.
That was my
Oh my
initial
God,
thought.
that
I
was
didn't
so
even
funny to
DM.
DM me.
I didn't even DM you. I already knew. I didn't need to say it because I was like, bro, he knows this. He already knows this.
I
I'm
knew
not
it
gonna
was
state
cope.
the obvious.
I think a lot of people knew it was cope.
Everyone knew. I wasn't gonna state
Everyone
the
knew it was
obvious
cope.
to you.
Everyone knew it was cope. But yeah, I'd say I got over her really fast. So, um, but after that, I was just
So
doing my
Cameron
stuff. Like I
spiraled
was
after our relationship. You know, everything went downhill
what?
for him. Yep.
I'd stop. No.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
But I was
His
just
life
like
basically fell into shit after that.
no. But after that, I just was like doing my own thing. I literally told myself. I said to myself. I remember talking to my friend. I was like, yeah, I don't. Or actually, I'll talk about this first. After that, we like kind of stopped being friends for a bit, but it sucked because we were in like all the same friend groups and stuff. But eventually, we kind of got over ourselves, and we're like, hey, we still. And after we kind of got out of like hating each other, and we were like realized, oh, we don't really have to hate each other anymore. We became friends, and we're still friends to this day, and we still talk. Like I talked to her today in ASL class because we both take it. Yeah, and we're chill now. Do you?
Yeah, I actually was texting her right before this recording.
What were you saying? Hello?
I don't remember. I was sending her Justin Bieber. Oh, she sent me a text. Actually, I haven't checked it. Anyways,
No, but that's funny. We were yeah, no, but we're chill. But I just remember after I was done coping, I told myself and I told my friends, I'm not gonna get into a new relationship because I don't know what I want. I don't know what I want
let me talk about.
in a relationship.
This is gonna be the longest podcast I have, and that's
Oh
wonderful.
my God, I'm actually I'm sorry. I'm actually kind of
No,
sorry.
I love that.
making
I
it this
love that.
long, but-
Actually, this is great because we're not even
No,
close to
but-
finish already.
Exactly. I was talking to her. I was talking to myself, my friends, and I was like, I don't know what I want in a relationship anymore. And then that's when, the most recent ex comes in, and she
Ruined your
was
life
at
even
first.
more.
She just kind of no, but there's lore because she came into our friend group and was like, she was there and she became like a friend, and then I realized after I broke up
Playboy Cardi.
she broke up with me after a while. I was like, I think I like this person.
Do I have to scream again? Do I have to scream again in the editing process?
Yes, you do.
God
you do.
damn
You don't have
it!
to listen. I'm sorry. I tried. Yeah, I was like, I think I like this person, and then The next morning, after I realized I liked that person, this person that she gets with my friend
Jimmy Neutron.
That's a
Ah! You suck! You suck! No wonder she
That's
cheated
only
on
like
your
3
ass.
or 4.
No
That's
wonder
only
she
like 3 or
cheated
4
on
that-
you.
No. But she gets with my friend, and I'm like, okay, that kind of sucks, but I'm not gonna dwell on it, and I just get over myself, and I stay single, and then they stay together, but it wasn't really a good relationship, and he has told me like it sucks, she's crazy, and I didn't listen. Because I didn't listen, and I got with her, and then
Yeah,
she
that was
manipulated me, and that's when all that stuff happened. And that's all I'm gonna say on that. But yeah, I think that era was very important for me because it
Your
was
first
like
mistake.
it was my relationship after like my super long term one, or the 2 relationships after my super long term one, with you, and it like they both had different things. Like, it was kind of like the thing where the girl I'd liked for a super long time, I got with her, and it was not what I wanted at all. It sucked. It was not good.
Post Malone.
No, I'm not even gonna say anything. I'm not even gonna say anything.
I'm really bad with this. It's because it's you, and we like talk about stuff like this like with names all the time.
True. We like hoeing on people. They don't get to know
Yeah.
secret talks about them. We talk about people behind
Oh.
their back all the time. Yeah.
Yep.
We're terrible
Totally.
people.
Yep. But I talked to her about it, and I was like, dude, like, or I wanted to date this person for a super long time, and then I did, and it sucked. It was horrible. We both agree it was horrible. Don't entirely regret it, but it's like it was kind of a horrible relationship. And then the next one after that was like me like starting something new, like completely fresh. And that turned out.
Now let's move on to the other side of this dichotomy, which is
Yes.
my experience after the breakup.
All right. Are you gonna get into the full lore?
No, I felt I
No?
was. Oh man, because honestly, it was a blur to me. I felt like the Le Bon Bon, you are my sunshine, my own. Like I was. That was probably the best time of my life. I'm not even kidding. Like it sounds like
Like,
I'm being
after
a.
we broke up?
Yeah, I'm not even kidding. Like it sounds like I'm being a dick, but like genuinely, that's when I was the happiest.
Okay. Nice.
It definitely went downhill, like drastically,
Oh.
as soon as high school started. Because
Yeah.
that's when classes changed. I started talking to some friends less, and he obviously moved schools, so it was a lot. Which brings me into the next subject I wanted to talk about, actually,
Okay.
and that is relationships with people in classrooms. You know, it's
Oh.
it's extremely important to have friends in your classes, so you're there experiencing, learning and school life with another person. You have someone to relate to.
Yeah.
But with me, I was given the super omega rare hand of God, where I have no friends in any of my classes. I was basically forced to start a blank sheet because I got shit luck. That's just what happened to me. So yeah, I don't have any of my old friends at all in any of my classes. And
Yeah,
so,
that sucks.
it was unlucky. In all 8 periods, none of them had a single person that I was once friends with. And even if there was
Not even, like,
one
lunch?
person, well, lunch, I mean, yeah, but lunch is, everyone is left to their own devices, so they move on to people who they've been, which is boring.
Yeah.
So, and that's when I started to spiral downhill, and that's when the most recent depression really kicked in, and that's when life became hard. And
Yeah.
I was really in a bad place, but I started to feel better, and that's when I just decided I should start this podcast. I have so
Oh,
many
the
thoughts.
origin of the podcast. I was wondering why you started it.
I have so many thoughts, and I was starting to feel better. And I thought, you know what? I have everything going on in my head that I want to share them. I want to let the world know. So
Mhm.
that's why I started this. And I'm
Yeah.
not I'm not doing the best, right? No one ever is, but
Yeah.
I'm doing pretty good with myself. I'm talking to people I like, and I'm yeah. We we per, per we pers- we
Persist.
persist. We persist. Yeah. That,
Yep.
so I'm interested on you because from what I understand, you have a very different experience with people in your classroom. No.
Oh, yeah, no. When it comes to a lot, well, okay, with certain classes, it's like I didn't have like people throughout where it's like all my classes I had like acquaintances who I became friends with. Like in my first period, there was no one I knew well, but I made friends with someone I like was like friends with and I like super close with, and now we're good. And and then I besides that I have like someone in and then in first and third period I just became friends with like acquaintances I had, you know, like people who I didn't know well, but like with my third period specifically, it's like I just had the last option. Whereas like all my acquaintances, because everyone else in that class sucks,
Hmm. And
so I
I
just had to
think
like make friends with
the
like people I didn't really know, and now we're all chill,
that's the
you know.
major difference is you at least had people you knew. I didn't know
Like new,
anybody
you had
there.
no one.
Nope. I
Yeah,
was left there to make completely new friends, and I mainly did that with a lot of people who were seniors to me. Which is why I'm friends with a lot of juniors and seniors for some reason. Like I don't know.
yeah,
Say be it my personality or just be it natural happening. I don't know. Yeah.
yeah. I don't know. It's just how that works.
There was
Yeah.
there was this kid who thought I was a super senior.
Oh,
he
that's
was he was a freshman and he thought I was a super senior.
oh, that's unfortunate. That is really unfortunate.
Bro thought I was. I didn't know how to feel about that. I was kind of sad about that. I was like, oh, okay. But then
Do you?
I played into the bit. It's whatever. I played into it. I was
Yeah.
like, where my
A
hug
little thing I want to
at?
talk about
Where
that
my
was
hug
really
at?
funny was I've started talking in a certain class I have in my ASL class with a lot of my friends. Um, I've started talking with my friends as if we were a sitcom, or I've like started addressing our friend group as if we were a sitcom. Because like in next year, it's gonna be way different because it's literally only gonna be me and my ex, my ex, my friend, this girl, that girl, not my evil ex, but like the one you know. Anyways,
Oh,
um.
like a sitcom like this.
Yeah, like no, we've been like making like community jokes and stuff where I'm like, dang, next season's cast is gonna be way different because literally no one from that group, aside from me and that girl, are going to be like taking ASL two. Um,
I'm surprised you
so
take
yeah,
ASL.
it's gonna be different. What?
I'm surprised you take ASL.
It's fun. I like it when the teacher is not like sick or whatever. It's a really fun class. Yeah, but like none of my friends besides us two are taking ASL two, so that it's gonna be really different. Um. Yeah, and we're like, and my friend was like, yeah, no, dude, next year it's gonna suck for y'all because it's like, imagine if you took Troy and Abed from Community and removed them both from the cast,
Oh,
that's basically what you're gonna get next year because
oh,
all like the funniest people in our group are gone.
oh, no! You're gonna create post post Donald Glover leaving Community. It's
Yeah,
okay, but
basically.
it's not as good. God,
Yeah, no,
Donald
it's
Glover really added so much to Community. Honestly,
yeah, no, it
he
was
the show was
fuck, it was
not
just
the same without him, man. And they
Yeah.
even added Hank.
I
in
just
for
recently
an intro.
rewatched it. It was great. I rewatched the whole show for my like final project I'm doing for film class.
I
But
accidentally said Hank.
oh
Walter.
yeah, no. But I rewatched it all for a film project I'm doing. But yeah, it was really good. And I've started and we were just been talking about it and everything, and just season 2 of ASL is gonna be because it's like it basically just because that my friend is my friend who you know. I can't think of a nickname, so I'm just gonna keep saying that. Is like the straight man, I guess, of our friend group, and I'm like kind of.
Do you want to match profile pictures on Instagram?
I think we should do that.
We should do that. Okay, Loki. After recording, I'm gonna find a couple of photos because that'd be cool.
Yeah, no, but it'd just be like having like the straight man of the comedy, and then like I don't know. I'm not the funniest in the friend group, but I'm not also like the least funny, you know. So it'd be like adding like just like Jeff, and then like I don't want to say I'm Shirley.
Because you're black.
But who's like the it'd be like adding Jeff and Britta, but like season 6 Jeff and Britta, where there's like no sexual tension or anything. That's what you'd get if it was just me and that friend in ASL 2. That'd be the sitcom you'd get. Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like yikes.
You're right, actually.
It's yikes. Yeah, it's not gonna be as good. We're probably gonna make new friends and stuff, but like I don't know, it's not gonna be the same. I love my ASL 1 friend group right now. It's actually one of my favorite friend groups I have. And if any of them are listening, I doubt it, but I might promote this podcast on my story. I don't know.
Put on yours.
Yeah. Probably.
Yeah, you know, my favorite friend group right now in school. See, you get it? Because the joke is I don't have one.
Yeah.
I realize.
Yeah, no, it's very contrasting ways, and it's really interesting because this is all just because of like.
One of the main reasons I brought you on. One of the main reasons I brought you on is because I realized we're extremely different from each other.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But also, you know, it's like a magnet. You know, opposites attract.
Yeah, I remember you said we're like yin and yang.
We are.
The other day.
We really are. We are extremely different from each other in a lot of different aspects. And I think that's what creates such an interesting dynamic is that you're able to share those different aspects of life with each other.
Yeah.
To create an understanding.
It's good.
I'm definitely Abed and you're definitely Troy.
Oh yeah, no, the autism definitely helps that as well for you.
No, absolutely.
Yeah, I got one more thing on my notes, and that is a one-sided relationship that I've been helping my friend cope with.
What? Okay, I'm interested in this.
So I thought this was really interesting, and I thought of it. So I have a friend. I really hope he doesn't. But it's fine. I don't think he'll care because I'll keep it. Really.
And if you accidentally say his name, then in recording, then I'll.
No. I'm
really
fine.
loud.
We're gonna be good. We're gonna be chill. He really likes a girl, and that girl is in the same class. We all have a friend group. Me, my friend, the girl I'm talking to, and the girl he likes. And then also this sophomore girl who my friend briefly dated. She's that's out of that situation. I just wanted to mention her briefly because she's chill. Anyways, but we're all in a film class together. Or AV if you're, but I call it's my film class. And he likes this girl a lot. And we were kind of helping him, and the girl I'm talking to is friends with that girl. So she was like helping him out. She was like helping, and eventually we found out that girl liked him back. But her parents are basically like the KGB. They're super protective. Anyways,
the KGB.
They're super protective.
KGB. What the fuck?
They're so protective. They're so protective.
Is that what you
So-
refer to them as?
Yes, yes, they're so protective. They're
Oh my
They're,
god.
they're so protective. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. They're so protective. But they like each other. But this girl doesn't like him as much as he likes her. But also,
Aww.
she doesn't entirely want to date right now. And then also,
Aww.
or I don't know about that, but sure,
And
it's
also the
mostly her parents and
KGB,
stuff.
you know? It's basically like being
Yeah.
anti-government.
Yeah, no, but like really, and she eventually told him, "Don't wait for me," because she
Ooh,
doesn't want him to
damn.
wait.
Damn. I can't
Don't
tell
wait
if
for
that's
me.
nice or mean.
Yeah, it was
You know?
tough. It was really tough on him.
It's
Because she
basically
just said,
being like,
"Hey,"
I wish we could be in a relationship. Don't pray on it. Or don't bet on
even
it.
though she's like, yeah, no, but she was just like, "Don't wait for me," because like, I don't know, I can't date you right now, bro. I can't be in a relationship with you. Don't wait for me. Like, live your life, man, please. And that was really tough on him, and it took a toll on him a lot. And me and the girl I'm talking to, we were helping him out, and eventually, apparently, after I got cheated on, I got really good at giving relationship advice and stuff like that.
Mm,
I don't know.
mm.
Okay, leave me alone. I've been cooking. I've actually been cooking, but I
Maybe
gave
for your
some.
standards.
I gave some of like the best advice I've ever given in my life to him, and it helped him out. And eventually, we've gotten on track where she still wants to be friends. They want to be friends, obviously. They're not like they don't hate each other. They're not gonna like stay away from each other. They want to be friends still. So we've kind of been helping him with that, and it seemed good at first when he was trying. We were like, dude, it's not working. But I think where we are right now, right, we're at a good point. This afternoon we were texting. I was texting him, and he was like, dude, I think it's working. I'm really proud of you. It's working out well. And she was,
Mhm.
oh, yeah.
No, it's just
Are you judging me?
No, you went into this, and I totally thought we were gonna talk about some like depraved shit where like this guy was like donating gifted subs to like streamers and shit like
But
that.
no, it's
I
not.
didn't.
It's more just. I thought it would be interesting to talk about because I wanted to see where this would
Yeah.
go. But yeah, that happened, and we're like,
you brought it up, and I
I'm
thought
really
it was
proud.
gonna be a lot crazier than it was.
I kind of hyped it up like that, but it's not all that. But we're like, yeah, it's just,
Best
and
for
we're just like,
last.
he's doing good, like with their friends, they're chill, and he's like, yeah, and what she said is like, I don't know, maybe I'll date in like junior year, and he's like, 2 years, please. But I'm like, dude, focus on being friends with her first, and that's what happened. They're friends, they're chill, and we're all chill, we're a friend group, and yeah, we'll just see where that goes.
That's definitely
Yeah,
interesting.
and yeah. I don't know. It's more like a sad story about relationships and like outside
Yeah.
factors.
And that's how this
in
man
those.
has been impacted by relationships. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
My most recent relationship impacted me. Now I'm better.
yeah. Well, now that we've talked about that, I think final statements really it's interesting. These we've been talking about the same topics, you know. But
Yeah.
what you realize is that even though these are the exact same thing, you know, these are all descriptions of relationships, they're so different. And that's what I really
Yeah.
wanted to tackle in this episode was that it's interesting.
A relationship.
Despite these relationships being labeled as the same thing, you know, like romantic relationships, friendships, or stuff like that.
Mhm.
Despite that, what really happens in them is so different that it basically doesn't even seem like it should be labeled as the same thing anymore. Yet it is.
Yeah. It's very
And
broad, and I think it's because like a relationship is what you define it as, and how you define that, and what type of label you want to put on it. You know.
absolutely. So all of this ranting and talking about personal life has felt like it doesn't really make much sense until now, where we actually explain why we've been doing it, and it's all
Yeah.
because, I mean, despite everything we're talking about, like surface level being the exact same thing, when you actually delve into the meat and potatoes of it, the real inner workings, you realize these are completely different things. And yet somehow they're still labeled the same thing. That's like, oh, let's listen to music, right? It's all labeled as music, except one of them is Kendrick Lamar and the others is the Wiggles. You know?
I've been listening to so much Kendrick. Oh my god.
I've been listening to more than you for a lot longer than you.
Yeah, I know you've been listening to longer, but I was listening to Pimp a Butterfly the other day,
Oh,
like
I
in full
fucking
for the
love
first time.
I love To Pimp a Butterfly, dude. I was gonna talk about it. Yeah. Oh, To Pimp a
Yeah.
Butterfly. Hell of a. Oh my god. Damn. I've been listening to Damn so much.
I actually like
Holy.
Damn a lot.
I love Damn. Oh my god, I could spend so long talking about Damn because the
To
story,
have a podcast on
the
Damn.
story of the entire thing is just so wonderful. The music is wonderful, and everything is just, it's so good in that one album. But yeah, we're getting sidetracked. Thank you for coming on to the podcast. It was really interesting
No
getting
problem.
your views here. I actually got exactly what I wanted out of this. I think
Yeah, this is
we
fun.
create a really good dynamic out of this. So, with all that being said, I hope you enjoyed it. If you didn't, give me your feedback, and good night.
Yep.
Hey, this is post Mìhkel in editing. I just realized that my microphone was really bad during this recording, and for that, I'm sorry. And I will try better in future recordings. Ugh.